do the silence.
What happened?
No? We're not going to do the moment of silence?
We did that already.
We did?
We already started.
It started. ¿De qué momento sale? ¿Quién se
Don't
murió?
try to catch me like we catch the guests.
9/11.
Well,
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
We're recording.
For real?
No,
Yeah.
for real.
We never tell people when we're going to start recording.
That's
so,
it.
You know,
Awesome.
you
Yeah.
see, he didn't know we started recording either.
Myself.
Yo, welcome, my brother.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank
Aqui
you for having me.
Chillin.
Aquí Chillin en la
Episode-
casa, episode 22.
Damn, that's a
Con
lot of damn
Bobo
episodes.
Cooks in the house.
Bobo
up,
underscore.
Popping. What's popping?
Yo, welcome, my brother.
Thank
Word
you,
up.
man. Thank you for having
Yo,
me.
and I'm so fucking excited about this episode
Oh, I
because
thought you was gonna say I'm so fucking hungry porque yo tengo hambre, bro.
For
Bien,
real.
I was looking through the book and I'm like, damn.
But I ain't got
No, yeah.
They mad at me for not bringing food. I'm like, damn, man. I brought some other
He-
stuff.
yo,
Nah, he
hold up.
brought
Oh,
some good stuff here.
Yo,
Yeah.
Talking about that, we were supposed to start with a
Oh,
toast.
yeah.
This is
let's
it.
do
This
that.
is the- we gonna do a toast.
Let me explain to
Percentage
y'all what that
drink,
is.
yeah,
Break
first.
it down for us,
Yes.
Bobo.
Yeah, so basically it's a natural tonic. My brother from Jamaica, from the Bronx actually, it's a Jamaican dude. He makes it for me. I'm
Nice.
making my own batch right now, but basically it's a herbal compound that has cascada sagrada, yellow dock. I'm speaking Japanese right now.
It's
but-
cool.
Cool.
fermented figs, Thai pepper, has a little spice to it, a little kick to it. You definitely taking a shot.
Yeah.
And it's just
Teach, my
Cheers,
brother.
man.
Yo,
cheers,
cheers.
man.
Cheers.
Cheers to
Cheers,
Bobo
cheers,
in
cheers.
the house.
Word
Aquí
up.
Chillin.
Cheers.
Aqui
brother.
Chillin. Hold up.
Ooh.
it's that
Wow.
good.
Ooh. Wow, this is potent, bro.
Damn.
So like if you have a cold or something, this is something that you take a shot of. If you have any type of
I'm cured.
Eso quita
Yeah,
ya.
yeah.
Y'all had to stuff
It's
it
a
over.
Morganse.
Bro, like, I feel
Yo,
this
this is
all
fi-
over
yo,
my body,
all
like my
through.
chest.
Yeah, yeah. You know
This
that
is no
you ever
joke.
seen Black Panther?
Yeah.
When they
Yeah.
give him the herbs and he goes like all
This is
crazy?
it?
That's that shit, right?
Wakanda forever.
Muchacho.
Like, so
Yo.
great way to start the show now.
Yo,
Yeah,
pero
we ready to go.
suerte que damos una vainita así. And I was, remember I was
told
like,
you.
yo, nah, what's this?
He thought I was being stingy. I'm like, if anything, I gave you a little too much.
So that's
Yo.
all natural right here, right?
Yeah, all natural. tonic,
100%.
man.
That's what's up, man.
Yo, le I can sing now, you know what I'm saying?
He
Up.
ready
Before
to
you go in the
record,
booth,
yo.
have some of that.
Bo, so let's talk, my brother. Let's get into the details porque I'm excited. I went through your website, went to your IG page. Bro, and you got some knowledge, you got some talent.
Thank you, man.
Hablan un poquito. Let's talk about your background. Did you start by cooking? Was this the first thing you did?
Well, I always been a cook,
Okay.
but obviously I grew up just a typical Dominican from New York. So
Where did you grow up? What borough?
Nah, I'm from Yonkers, so the
From
sixth
Yonkers.
borough.
The sixth borough,
the
yeah.
shadow of the city. I call
ahí
it.
mismo.
There you go.
Yeah.
Está ahí mismo.
Facts. But nah,
Nemo.
I started off. Actually, I was a college athlete at the time, and I got terribly ill, which ended up
What sport?
Baseball.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was
Nice.
playing in West Virginia.
Nice.
And,
What position?
Outfield.
Ooh.
Outfield. Yeah.
He's a big
Anyway,
baseball
word.
guy.
You baseball head too?
I used to.
Oh,
Ya,
awesome.
hace 10 años, bro.
10
It's
años.
over.
I think he
Yeah.
got caught
I
with
chose
the
the music.
He got caught with the steroids. So
My
they
last game, I think, was 3 years
With
ago.
the steroids.
I don't know. He took
I'm
about
just
coke
kidding.
all the time.
No,
That's
see, I got
bad.
caught with
word?
coke in the locker room. This shit was
I'm telling you.
There's
crazy.
a rap after that.
Team gave me a badge. I was like, whoo. And nah, I'm joking.
Nah, he's joking.
There's a rap after that, man. But nah, when I was having headaches all the time. I was having dizziness all the time.
Shit.
And to the point that I couldn't perform on the field anymore. So that made me go to countless doctors and countless tests, whether it's MRI, CAT scan, all the types of blood tests you could think of. And they couldn't tell me what was wrong with me. And that made me depressed because I was like, damn, if the people who were supposed to teach us and supposed to tell us what the hell's wrong with us.
Supposed to
doing
know,
all these
right?
stuff- Yeah, they're supposed to know. And they couldn't help me. What the hell am I supposed to do? And then that's when my mother sent me, she was going in on the knowledge that she was just trying to save her baby, you know?
Yeah.
And she was like, yo, I seen this video on Dr. Sabi, check this out. And then once I heard him speak, I was like, yo, man, this might be something to it. So I started eating along his guidelines. And then I didn't fast until I seen, I was actually supposed to go to his village in Honduras.
Okay.
And, you know, to be healed and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And then he died, he passed. Well, I say he got murdered. But
A lot of people say that.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah,
let
yeah.
real
A
quick.
conspiracy behind
Yeah,
it.
60 seconds on this because Dr. Sevi, he's well known. And I think I think didn't Left Eye from
Left Eye.
she went to see him
Village,
to his village. A lot of people,
Michael
right?
Jackson.
And there was that rapper that just got killed.
Nipsey Hussle.
Nipsey,
He
he
was
was familiar with his work, but
Yeah.
I don't think he
He
meet
didn't meet him, but he was like inspired by him.
So what did he do, real quick, just so the listeners can understand?
Dr. Sabi?
Yeah.
He was just a healer. He taught people how to fast. He was like the best of his generation. You
Okay.
know? But he taught people how to fast and properly intake food and what we should be eating in order to reverse these diseases that we suffer from: diabetes, cancer, sickle cell, lupus, everything that you can think of. He probably reversed it. You know?
Wow, that's interesting.
Right.
And then, so you found out you had all these problems. Did you have to cancel your baseball career pretty much, or stop?
I
playing
canceled
baseball?
it. I canceled it because I didn't know what to do.
Right.
I even stopped going to school. Somebody was taking the classes for me. Like,
Damn.
Oh, that's gangster.
Yeah. I was like, yo, just do this for me. Like, I promise, like, I'll make it worth your while, you know? Like, but, and sure enough, when I found out that he passed, I was supposed to go to his village. Like, I was emailing these people and everything.
Damn.
And turns out, I suffered from so much anxiety at that time that I was like, yo, I never been outside the country by myself other than DR. And I even go by myself. I was going with my family.
Right.
So I'm not about to go to Honduras by myself, whatever. And then I found a dude named Yada, who's basically the same exact person, different body, same message. And he was a younger dude, a dude from the hood. He spoke my language. And I was like, yo, this guy knows what he's doing.
Was he in the States?
Nah, he was in Ecuador.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow,
so I
okay.
ended up going to Ecuador to his village. I meet him, and he did the same thing.
That's
And,
awesome.
yeah, he
That's
coached me.
That's what's
And
up.
to this day, we like this, man. That's my brother. I owe him my life.
Wow, that's shout
And now
out to
you're
him.
doing better.
Yeah, absolutely.
You feel better and no symptoms?
Absolutely.
That's amazing.
And the
Everything.
cooking, who taught you, your mom or your dad?
It comes from both.
From both.
I always been a cook, but when I was transitioning into, mind you, I had to give up pollo guisado.
Yeah,
I had
that's
to give
crazy.
up all the pastelito, beef pastelito, camarones.
man.
I had to give all that. So I was like, yo, how can I recreate the stuff to satisfy my taste buds?
Yeah.
And feed myself on a cellular level, you know? And then I just figured out a way. I was like, yo, I can substitute this with this. I can make this flavor with that. And I found out that we just had to recreate the texture and recreate the flavor and we'll be satisfied. You know?
Yeah, because my man got the vegan with the touch of some Dominican. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Yeah, so
and
now-
I pay homage to all
I saw
Latino cultures
mofongo in
here,
there.
too. Yeah, mofongo up in there.
That's what's up, man. So,
I'm getting hungry.
so you started cooking almost out of necessity, right?
It was a necessity.
Because
or
of
else.
right. So, but at the same time, you were looking for the right things to cook.
Yeah.
So, did you do a lot of reading during this time, or was this inspired through all the readings you did when you were doing your research?
You have it right on the money.
There you go.
2016, I didn't actually put anything into practice. I found out about this 2016, but I didn't put anything into practice until 2017, January. It was a New Year's resolution, and I just stuck to it. I never went back after that.
Nice.
So that's how it all started.
That's what's
Damn.
up,
So
man.
tú vas 100 millas por hora, bro.
Yeah.
Nah, that's good, man. And for those who don't know or can't see, we have the book right up front, and it's called "Best Believe It's Vegan."
Catchy phrase. Yeah.
Muchacho, una vaina bien.
It's going to be out in Spanish soon. So.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So let's talk about that, because our culture don't know what the whole vegan thing. Tú le dices, yo soy vegano, they think que tú eres de La Vega, allá en República Dominicana.
Yup.
¿Tú me entiendes?
Yup.
That's a fact.
And I remember, so a little personal story. My girlfriend, she's vegetarian, but she did the vegan thing one time, and I joined her for like 2 months. But I did it more because I saw a documentary called "What the Health."
Oh yeah.
Have you heard about
Everybody's
that?
seen that? Yeah.
Yeah,
I saw it after everybody else told me about it.
Okay.
And they were like, "Yo, you were right the whole time." I was like, What the hell's what the health?" And they put me onto it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that kind of got me into it, and I thought it was pretty cool because your body starts feeling different. So how do you plan on educating people in our culture, the
Well,
older generation and the younger generation
Right
around
now,
this?
I'm very thankful for Instagram.
That's a fact.
I don't educate anybody that doesn't want to be educated. I'm not in the business of preaching people or in the business of converting people. I don't do that. I just show and prove. So I capitalize on people's curiosity. So if I see that they're curious, then yeah, I'll go teach and I'll tell them the services that I do. Right now, I'm in the middle of a tour. I'm going to Houston. Well, I went to Houston, went to LA, went to Miami, went to Atlanta.
Awesome,
like I'm doing the workshops all here. But in the month of July, I'm dedicating to New York. Because
Nice.
this is my home, So I'm doing some workshops here. But that's the way I educate people. I host these workshops. I teach people how to cook. I teach people the science. I give presentations. I give them this. You know, just
muchacho.
alternatives. And
That's a great welcoming.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fire.
great
I still
entrance.
feel that shit, yo.
I still feel it too. Man. I'm on an empty
too.
stomach too. I'm fasting
Yeah.
right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Because my dad, you tell my dad, "Pa, tú quieres, you want to be a vegan?" He'd be like, "Nah, si el arroz y la bichuela no tiene carne,
Yeah.
he ain't
Yeah.
fucking
My
with
dad
it."
is the same way.
You know what? I'll tell you this.
That's an old school mentality.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you have to I have to remind you, I'm Dominican.
That's
I come from a Dominican household. My dad is from Villa Consuelo in La Capital. Like, he's Dominican.
But he supports, though.
Oh, absolutely.
I saw my man eating a vegan sandwich, una vaina que tú te le preparaste.
But would you believe me if I told him that he's about 80% vegan now? Like 80%, like él no le gusta like everything that I prepare in the household, he's completely 100% vegan. But when he's out on the road, I can't even control what he does.
Yeah.
But my mother, 100% plant-based.
Wow, that's dope. That's dope.
It's just because they were the one rushing me to the hospital. So once they saw that their baby, which is me, didn't have to go to the hospital anymore, and he was healing himself
feeling
doing
good.
stuff. They I feel like they saw. I didn't have to tell them anything because I just led by example.
They witnessed it.
Exactly.
They saw a different perspective.
And everybody who's close to me did the same thing, you know? And I pay homage to them because it took me to hit rock bottom. You know?
Right.
Them, they just, okay, the knowledge, boom, you told me, boom. They just follow wherever I do. You know?
Yeah, but that's dope también porque it puts you in sort of a leadership position porque, you know, you had to go through what you went through in order to discover that stuff that you're doing
Absolutely.
now. And now through your improvement, la gente te está viendo and they're saying like, oh shit, it worked for him, it could work for me. So you're leading by example, como quien dice. So that's what's up, my brother.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because there's nothing worse than going through something and not knowing what the fuck it is.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, you had to go through that, you know?
Y más cuando tú vas a estos doctores generales. They don't know
Ellos no
shit,
saben
bro.
nada.
Todos los
They
doctores,
be
bro.
they be tapping your
Nah,
shoulder
nah,
your knee, and be
yo.
like, tú tienes esto, and they don't even know.
Nah, they be like, yo, you explain everything you're going through. And they be like, and they'll listen to you. And they're like, what do you think it is? Like, como what I think it is?
Yeah,
I don't
like
know what
they're
it is.
interviewing you and shit. Like, yo, but we're supposed to know. And not only that, they would prescribe me medicine without knowing what I had.
What it is.
That made
Wow.
me very uncomfortable. I'm like, yo, but like, how you
Wow.
just get? Then I'm gonna experiment.
There's
That's
money
what you're telling
span.
me. That should hurt my heart, man.
Damn.
Yo, Bowen, tell us about your workshops because you do have this tool going on and you're going to different cities.
Yeah.
How did you get started with that?
The first workshop I ever did was last year, and it was with my mom. It was in Poción Lounge where I had that party.
Yeah.
Ariel was
So,
twerking
it
over
hot.
there.
I was telling him that's what I was trying to tell him. I was like, full disclosure, like beware of this drink because I went and I didn't eat yet. And I'm like,
Oof.
I'm not gonna feel that drink. It's a vegan drink. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna feel it.
Yeah.
Woo!
Nah, that's the drink.
They hit different.
That's the drink. This is the drink of the gods right here because this
Yo.
shit.
I
Yo,
mean,
you're
yo,
in
yo,
bed.
yo ni quiero topar vino, loco.
Yo, it's like another one, man. What
right?
the hell we
It's
doing?
delicious.
This is vegan drink champs. Vegan drink champs.
Le gustó la vainita.
I should have brought the bottle girls, man, to pour us
Oh,
up.
with the sparklers, right?
Horrible.
Nice.
Nah, for those listening and watching, this is the real deal.
Nah,
right?
that shit
That
fire.
shit's spilling a
Eso
little
me
bit
abrió
too
el
much.
pecho. Like,
Delicious. Does it have ginger in it?
Yeah, it has ginger.
I taste
Tiene
it.
jengibre.
A mí me
That's one of my
encanta
favorite words.
jengibre.
Jengibre.
I can never pronounce that shit.
I love ginger.
jengibre.
Jengibre. Y albóndiga. That's another funny word.
Nah, albóndiga. That doesn't have
It
albóndiga.
has albóndiga in it?
No.
Oh, I'm like,
Say it. That's
what?
funny to
I'm
say.
not down with that. I'm not down.
Yeah, it is beef. It's meatballs.
Unless you have, espérate, pero, Bobo, you don't make
I make vegan versions.
eggplant meatballs,
Yeah, I do.
eggplant balls, whatever you can.
He studied me.
I did the
he
vegan
his
thing for a
research.
while. No, I did the
Oh, that's
the
right,
vegan
that's
thing
right,
for a
that's
while.
right.
So I did my reading. Like I feel like when you get into this, you have to do your research.
Yeah.
Because if you're trying to eat clean, you need to know what you're eating.
Exactly.
You know.
Oye, háblame de este gel right here. That shit got me mad
Espérate.
curious.
Oh.
Where's
Espérate.
mine at?
Vamos.
Yo, I thought-
Everybody got
when-
one. I think I have a fifth one.
When my man brought out, there was a pelita and shit. I was gonna be like, y el fósforo para ponerlo ahí.
You want to take a shot before
Vamos,
that?
Yeah.
let's take a shot.
Hey, my brother.
You know he had a
Cheers.
baby.
You just had a
They
baby?
sent me,
Oh,
so cheers
word.
to him.
Congrats to team with the new baby.
Congrats to the team with the new
Congrats.
princess.
¿Tú era esto?
That's good. There goes
Wow.
It hit different, right?
Líbrame.
Esto es mejor que Mama Juana, loco.
Oh, yeah. It lifts up your
Bro.
spirit, man.
No wonder it tastes a little familiar.
But you know what's funny? We think that alcohol is just some brand new concept. Our ancestors did this. The alcohol concept, the fermentation process comes from the ancestors, the Taínos that occupied the DR. the occupated PR, the Africans in Africa. That started with us, not from gringos.
Not from Jameson.
Yeah.
Or Johnny Walker.
They just made synthetic versions of this.
Damn.
Oh, eso está
Wow,
fuerte.
mi gente.
Or toxic
Clearly.
shit.
Yeah, but toxic shit.
This
Clearly they
is
make us-
wow, bro. This is some other level
Yeah,
shit.
I'm glad you like it. We're going to take another one.
So
Yeah,
now we're-
straight change.
Oye, llévanos suave because this is
y la
starting to
comida ahora, la comida. ¿Dónde está la comida?
Allá abajo. And we're in the 10th floor. It's in the first floor.
It is the swinging spot.
Yeah, I don't know.
Mentiroso.
El gel, háblame de esto, bro.
Oh, no, that's just, it's a new product that I have on the market. It's a sea moss gel. Basically, it's a seed vegetable. So a lot of times we go to the doctors and from personal experience, I was always mineral deficient in something. When you're sick, you're deficient in some type of mineral, whether it's iron, iodine, calcium, phosphate. And what it does, it just brings you back to balance. It attacks the thyroid gland. So the thyroid gland is directly responsible for your endocrine system, which is responsible for all your hormones. So when you have hormone imbalance, you have disease living in your body. So it just brings you back to balance. That's what it does.
Pues te tigre, doctor.
No, ¿verdad? And
No,
you know,
but
to that. Go
oh,
ahead.
sorry. No, I have to testify personally. Like after I went to, what was it called again?
Which
The
one?
place we went
Poción?
to. Yeah,
Yeah.
where you had your book. Like it made me curious and it made me start doing some research and some changes little by little. And I had a thyroid disorder. And I'm like, I was never comfortable in taking the medication, you know? And I'm like, why do I have to take a medication for the rest of my life? There has to be something natural that I can do. So
Cannabis?
That too. That too.
no comment. He's a clown. You see what I do?
Oh.
But I started doing some research and I'm like, yo, I remember hearing your story and I was inspired by your story. And literally a year later, I went to the doctor and I got my blood work done. And they asked me, obviously, my history. And I told them, and I was honest, I didn't take the medication. And they're like, well, we don't see any issue. And I'm like, I'm glad I did it naturally, making some adjustments just with, you know, the intake of what I'm putting into my body as far as the food or being more plant-based or holistic diet, right? But it's amazing that you spoke about thyroids and the CMOS because now I feel
Women
better.
especially suffer from a lot of thyroid
My sister, it's like she's been taking the medication and I would love for her to, you know, also go hopefully in a more natural path.
That's what the goal is.
Yeah,
That's the goal.
and those small dietary changes go a long way.
Yeah.
It's like, and like even I think Dr. Sebi said something around this about mucus. Mucus is one of the leading causes of almost all diseases because it gets stored and you know.
Well, that's part of the reason why they didn't know what was wrong with me, because they could do MRIs, they could do CAT scans, but they don't see or detect anything on those scans until that mucus solidifies in what we call a tumor. You understand what I'm saying?
So the mucus turns into tumors?
So the mucus is translucent, so they're not able to detect it on X-rays, MRIs,
Makes
CAT
sense.
scans. So they're telling me the truth. It's not their fault. It's just their practice. You know, that's what they're taught. So I at first I was mad at them, but then I realized, they really can't. They really tried, but they couldn't do anything about it. You know, but. If you're feeling something wrong, then something's wrong. You know, you're not going crazy out there. That's you know.
Listen, the human body is the best oil machine in the world. So if something is not feeling right, it's telling you,
It's definitely.
you better go
Need some
check
type
it out.
of cleanse. You know.
A mí me dolió la rodilla el otro día, so yo no sé, será la artritis que me está entrando a mí.
Oh, you weren't doing nothing?
He was in salsa con fuego, dancing salsa.
Nah, bro, when it be raining, my ankle be hurting, but it's because I used to skateboard when I was younger. And
You said when it rains, your ankle hurts?
Yeah,
You know, that has
the humidity.
But that has something to do with the moon as well.
Really?
Yeah, that has a lot
Am I
to
the
do
chosen
with the moon.
one?
Nah.
I don't know. My mom
You
feels
ain't the
the
chosen
same
one
way.
if your knee hurting, bro.
If you study the moon, you will understand yourself and what happens in the moon. So like when it's half moon, when it's full moon, the moon corresponds with our body so much. And the sun
Energy,
as
right?
well. Yeah, as well. But when you have certain inflammation in your body, so our body operates in something called the circadian rhythm.
Circadian rhythm.
The circadian rhythm is basically our biological clock. And before I start explaining this, I have to pay homage to some of the people that put me on to this.
Go
which
ahead.
is Yada, of course, and Brother Polite. They put me on to this circadian rhythm. Not theory, it's just actually facts. So it's a biological clock. Everything in nature has a biological clock. So it's basically explaining to when it's most conducive for us to do something versus when it's not most conducive for us to do something. So you will realize that from 6 a.m. to about 11 a.m., our body is working our digestive system the most. So the last thing you want to do during those hours is have solid foods. Maybe just have a smoothie and a lot of water.
6 a.m.
From 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. And we were taught to have that the breakfast is the most important meal of the day. But we're leading in obesity every year. It's not even a close the next country who's leading into obesity. You know? So the circadian rhythm, when you study that, it teaches you why you might have that when it rains and why you might be more prone for something during certain hours. Because certain things only pop up at certain hours.
It's true.
Yeah.
Wow.
Bro.
I mean, got that
You
knowledge,
learn
yo.
something every day. You see this?
That's deep.
Yo, I've been living a lie.
They can
That's what I
practice the
like
most
about
important.
Yeah,
yoga,
for
right?
real.
It teaches to unlearn so you can relearn.
Yeah, that's what it is.
have to.
Unlearn and relearn. You know,
Yeah.
we have to do the unlearning first before we learn something new.
That's
you
a
know?
fact.
Fact, man.
But that's just coming in tune with yourself and realizing, like, just coming into realization, like, yo, okay, I've been lied to about this. What else I've been lied to about?
Muchacho.
I gotta thank Bobo for something else, talking about learning. Because what holiday just passed that there was a bunch of barbecues going on? Oh my God, I can't believe I just forgot it. Memorial Day.
Yeah.
And, you know, my parents got a pool. They were like, you know, we're going to come over, to your backyard. We're going to get a pool. We're going to get this. We're going to get a barbecue. What is it called? Whatever it's called.
Parrilla.
A parrilla. Official.
Yeah.
Black. You know, I love black. But it looks official. And they were like, we're going to get this. We're going to get that. And, I have been plant-based for just a few months. And I'm like, damn.
Oh, so you've been plant-based lately?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And
It's
Condillo.
trying to
I
be-
did the same
Yeah,
thing, bro. When I
yeah.
started, I didn't tell
Yeah.
nobody, bro.
Yeah, it's the same situation.
told him you were sick?
Huh?
You told him you were sick, that you couldn't
I've
eat?
been dealing with aside from my thyroid, I have issues with my eyes. He told me I could become legally blind by 30. So I need cornea transplants. And then I had I still experience like a lot of stomach issues and different issues, like even like sweating at night, just different issues. And it's like I work in the health field, so I'm a general manager, and I've experienced working with doctors and a lot of things that I won't disclose here. But I learned that you need to take accountability of your life, and you need to take accountability of your health, and to allow someone else that power to tell you what to do or what not to do, and not do your own research, and not be in control of your own life. It's scary. So
Don't lead yourself astray. Yep.
yeah, so it's like, I've been just trying to do my research and trying to do some changes. And, my dad has cancer, so going through going to the hospital with him and asking doctors, like, what changes can we do? And when, you have your dad going through this surgery and having, a colonoscopy and, getting this surgery, and they tell him after surgery he can eat anything. Right? Anything.
That's
like
terrible.
no changes. He can do this, he can do that. It's all good. And it's
That's
like
crazy.
It's a setup, unfortunately.
Yo,
you
because
know? So it's like I don't want to live my life like that. I don't want my kids to take me to the hospital to go through what I'm going through. I wish I wasn't going through it with my dad. So during that time, I was gonna say I want to thank you, because I thought about it. I was like, damn, like that meat, like they about to make those hamburgers, and you posted a video, and your mom reposted a video about hot dogs and what's inside of it.
That was a whole crazy
Right?
thing.
And
Yeah.
it's like, and it made me realize, like, this is why you're doing it. This is what you're feeding yourself. It's not right for yourself. It's not right to those living animals. It's not right for the environment.
Yeah.
And it's like, I just want to thank you, because not everyone is going to like that post, right? Not everyone is going to repost that. Some people want to go on social media and just want to hear BS, let's call it for what it is,
Facts.
right? Or something funny. But what you're putting out there, it's educational, and it's awakening, and I just want to thank you for that, because you're speaking to so many people and you're changing so many people's life, including yourself, right?
Facts.
So I just want to thank you for
Thank
that.
you so much.
Yo,
I
round of
appreciate
applause
that.
for my
That
man,
was-
Bobo Clubs, man.
And also, Arielis, thank you for opening up.
For opening
man.
up,
That was
word.
very
Emotional
deep.
here.
That was
Like, I didn't know
It's
that.
this. I'm telling you,
It's
it's
this.
this.
Yeah.
It opens up your emotions, man.
That's beautiful, man. And you know
Telling
what's
you.
crazy to that point? Because a lot of the diseases we get, that humans are getting nowadays, is from the food.
Yeah.
Or the chemicals,
Yeah.
or los preservativos que le echan,
Yep.
all that crazy shit, and then you got doctors telling you, and no disrespect to the medicine field, but how you gonna tell someone who's going through something that you could eat anything? Like, what kind of advice is that? You know,
I did on my show. I have a show on YouTube called Best Believe It's Vegan. It's a cooking show, but I bring guests on there, and I had a doctor on the show. She's an endocrinologist, and she's a plant-based endocrinologist. She's a separate study. Unfortunately, a lot of insurances don't cover it. It's kind of like, tú tienes que un chin de dinero to have her. But I'm glad that I had her on the show because she's an actual credentialed doctor, and she was explaining how in her field, when she's going through medical school, that's not priority. Nutrition is not priority. Everything else, whatever prescription, that's priority. But as far as teaching people what to eat, nah, man, that's a whole different practice.
Ellos quieren meterte patilla por el ya tú sabes.
Es un negocio.
Yo, Bo, I'm kind of mad though, bro.
What's up?
You hungry like
First
me?
of all, because they gave us the manu wine opener today, I had to do mad extra work to open up the wine. Second of all, why you haven't invited us to your cooking show? I'm just.
I haven't had one in New York. In my defense, I haven't had one in New York since last year.
Okay.
But in July, this is what a couple things that I have set that tomorrow or Monday I'm gonna have set in stone already. I'm having a big ass barbecue uptown somewhere in the Bronx, or I have 3 locations that I'm choosing from, either in the Bronx, Yonkers, or in the Heights.
Nice.
But after that, no, that's gonna be the finale of the month.
The Heights.
But the workshops that I'm having is gonna be in one weekend, one in Brooklyn. I want to do East New York, and then one uptown. Just to get the best of both worlds. But that's what I'm doing for the month of July. I told you I'm dedicating July.
Oh man,
that's
New
what's
York.
up, man. We're gonna have to pull up.
We gotta pull up.
Facts, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be there.
I should tell you, there's always beautiful women in my events.
Oh shit, I'm going with my bike.
There's always.
I'm going with my bike. A ver si yo me llevo una. A ver, yo mami, montate en el peg ahí.
Yeah. And I tell people all the time, well, especially men, because in my workshops you mostly just see women, and that's weird to me. Not weird to me, but it tells me a lot because I feel like they're a lot more health conscious than we are. We tend to wait till we hit like rock bottom. Like, yo, okay, now I have to change.
Yeah.
When they just want to feel good all the time, So I told the fellas, I'm like, yo, if the health don't bring you there, the women might.
That's
a fact.
And to that point, even like, for example, I told you, like, my girlfriend started doing the vegan thing, and the only reason
it's always the women,
because of her.
It's always the women. Telling you.
Yeah.
Damn.
Being healthy is the new sexy.
Oh man, I dig that.
Being healthy is the new sexy, man.
Well, vamos a hablar entonces of the type of dishes you be chefing up. Bro.
Oh yeah, let's do that.
Let's talk about.
Let's do that. I do everything.
Let's talk about the Dominican dishes. I know you be putting a spin. Or let's just talk about the Latino dishes in general.
Yeah, facts,
Facts.
That.
Oof, that looks good. Who did that?
You did
Wait a
that.
minute, what page
Did
is
you do
that?
Or your mama did it?
No, mama's good, but she didn't do
But
that.
she didn't do that?
Yeah, she didn't do that.
Yo, and these empanadas con ese aguacatico ahí al lado.
No,
Tell us a little bit about the cooking. Yeah.
Well, I started off. My first thing that I want to recreate, my mother used to make me pollo guisado all the time, and that was my favorite dish from her.
Nice.
I focused on what did mommy make that I really want to recreate, and she helped me with it too.
Yeah.
So I found out that there was a certain species of mushrooms called chanterelle mushrooms. It only comes in season around October and November. And we get it all the time around that time. And I realized that when you boil it and you put it in the oven and then you pan sear it, it gives you the same texture of the pollo guisado and you prepare it the same way and you get that right there. This little thing
What
right
page
there.
is that?
That's in the beginning.
That's like the second page, the first page.
Good.
Yeah, so that's what made me like realize, holy shit, I could do this, man. Like, if I could recreate that, I could do anything else. And that made me very happy. And then I started doing the patelitos. I'm like, yo, but I don't want to use regular flour. Regular flour kind of floats.
The texture looks a little different.
Yeah, so
What is it?
I use amaranth flour. That's an ancient grain. I use teff flour. I use kamut flour, spelt flour, garbanzo bean
He
flour.
says an ancient grain.
Yeah, they're all available in stores though. Like, if it's not available in stores, it's available online. We live in the internet era. I have a whole passage in there called the internet era.
It's just not popular within our society.
Nah, our society is not popular. Like, if I told people, buy amaranth flour, they're gonna be like, what the
Aqui?
is that? What?
So if people want to get their hands on this book, because this is a cookbook, right?
Yeah, it's a cookbook.
Where
I got
do
2
they go?
more coming out this year, by the way.
Awesome.
Yeah.
This is dope.
You get that in bestbelieversvegan.com.
I want that.
And And of course, I gifted all of you guys that
Thank
today.
you so much.
Wow, man. Yeah, thank
and
you.
one of these each.
Wow.
I just
this
gotta
is-
write the expiration date on it.
Yo, for real.
Listen,
I
this
think it
is,
says 0720. Oh yeah, that's another thing
0720.
too. These things, they expire very fast. I don't put any preservatives in them.
so you have to eat them, right?
It's about a month shelf life.
Damn, bro. Like, I'm so impressed, man. This is dope, bro.
So,
like,
so.
and let me add, Mami Saven. I could use this for breakfast.
Avena, yeah. So the avena that I use is kamut as well. It's one of the ancient grains rather than regular oats. So a lot of times people think they have like a beer belly when it's not really a beer belly. It's a yeast belly. So I try to refrain from yeast. It's not beer belly. It's not.
Ooh,
it's not the
explain that.
It's not the actual.
Look at Carlos.
Yeah.
Carlos' mind was blown just now.
Was
So
this yeast?
yeah. So the yeast when it touches the surface of water, which is your stomach acid and all the liquids in your body, is 75 to 80% water. So when it touches it, that's what makes it expand. It's not the hops. The herb that they use to make beer is called hops. That's what actually is good for you,
Right.
but not the yeast.
So you're saying beer is good for you?
Yeah, but minus the yeast.
Mine is the
You
yeast.
tell this to a bunch
Like,
of guys,
right?
and they're like, all they're gonna listen to is the.
Is it
So
good?
beer is good for
So
you.
yeah, it's okay.
Can I use Corona or
So
Heineken?
la presidente, es mejor allá o aquí.
Depende de la temperatura.
That's a fact.
So it's the yeast.
Yeah, man, the yeast. Well, it's the same ingredient. That's one of the main ingredients in pan. That's why people want to have no bread. So I decided to make a bread recipe in this book. I'm like, yo, how can I make bread? How can I make people still eat bread, but without having the bloat?
Without the
or
bloat.
eating pasta without having the bloat.
Is that the same thing with white rice?
Same thing with white rice. Eso se pega. So you notice el concon
Sí.
stays on the pot. So with quinoa, with teff, with spell, and all the other grains that I named, you'll notice that it doesn't stick on the pan like rice does. Same thing that it does in the pan, it does in your stomach. You feel
How
me?
about brown rice?
Brown rice is a little bit better, but go with black rice better. Black
Whoa,
and
whoa,
wild,
whoa, whoa.
black,
Oh,
Wild
black
rice,
rice.
right?
yeah, black and wild rice is a lot better.
I never heard
You
of
hear
black
Timo?
rice.
Timo's
Black
like,
He
rice.
said, what the
Is that even real? Like,
talking
so-
Yeah,
about?
yeah.
Okay.
It's called the forbidden rice, they call it. But you can find it in a lot of places at Whole Foods. If you don't find it at Whole Foods, if you don't find it in a couple of places, a spot that I get this from, you guys should visit it.
Oh, really?
It's called
I thought you
HIM.
made this.
Nah, this is not my batch. My batch is being made as we
Oh,
speak.
gotcha,
It's a
gotcha.
fermentation process.
Like, I was impressed.
So
So
you-
me.
So you were gonna say if we wanted to get our hands on the forbidden juice?
Yeah.
It's called?
No, he called it forbidden rice. I feel like I feel like if we go to Whole Foods, you know what this feels like?
They're gonna make
yeah.
fun of us.
Listen to
like,
this, listen to this.
You're like, oh, can I get the forbidden juice?
So I feel like if you go into Whole Foods and you grab a bag of the forbidden rice,
Yeah.
like a big ass concrete ball is gonna fall after you, like Indiana Jones type shit.
Yeah. Like it's a trap. It's a trap.
It's a booby trap.
Facts.
That's cool, bro.
Fact. Nah, but that's his, HIM Idle Market and White Plains Road, almost llegando a Mount Vernon, like
Okay.
arriba. Tú sabes.
Está para arriba.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna go with you on the bike.
That's my boy, man. Kenja. Shout outs to Kenja, man. Kenja, he knows what he's
Shout
doing,
out.
man. He put me onto a lot of game.
That's what's up, man.
Man.
What's up? That is.
So, if you had to go with one of your dishes, if you had to promote the hell out of one of your dishes,
This one,
yeah, which one would it be?
the croquetas. That's the most
What
innovative
is
one.
that
This is a
croqueta?
croqueta.
So croqueta is typically a Cuban dish that is made with ham, but I figured out a way to recreate the ham using roasted red peppers and smoked sea salt. But that's my favorite in the whole recipe. That's everyone's favorite always.
Croquetas.
Yeah.
Sounds amazing.
Where's the picture of it?
Yeah.
I'll show
I
you
was
right
like, I
now. It's the
wanna
one with
see
my
it.
dad on it, actually. He's
Oh,
actually,
man.
That's his favorite, I guess,
It's
right?
everyone's favorite.
That's what's
It
up.
never goes wrong. It's una picadera, tú sabes. It's a great party food, party.
But I'm about to
That's
get
it right
I'm
there.
about to get the team in trouble right now, real quick.
Facts. There's another picture somewhere.
Well,
in
so
there.
if we were thinking, let's say hypothetically, right? Team, you listening?
Yeah.
If we were thinking hypothetically, right, to do an event,
Oh yeah, facts.
will you
Oh
join
yo,
us?
team, this is your team, aren't you?
He
Yeah.
has to join us.
That's yours right there.
Would you, if we hired you to cook, will you join us?
Oh hell yeah, facts. I
Like
do that all
like
the
a
time.
small event, right?
I do those all the time. So like right now, I just put in my website. It's actually going to launch this weekend, well tomorrow or Monday. If you want to book me to birthday parties or like whatever, like you know how they book clowns, you could book me now.
Yeah.
But you far from that, though.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
far from that.
facts.
Yeah, man, that would be dope.
You're
We-
That
You're
is
good.
dope. So
You're like como strippers.
Exactly.
Tú sabes.
Exactly.
Wait,
You wanna-
what?
That's how you book
what are you
strippers.
talking about? And mind you, I'm thinking about the kids.
Because let
I
me
was
explain
like, damn,
myself.
that's gonna be dope.
Porque
bringing
I
awareness.
enjoy strippers. Si vienen pa un party, I'ma enjoy some food. Es lo mismo.
Yeah, exactly.
It's in the same category.
Aye,
It's in the
aye.
budget.
It's in the budget.
You know what I mean?
Food and ass.
Yeah.
All right.
You know, we're trying to do a little
Big old
private
titties.
event with the guests, a networking event. You know, we're gonna call it something like a networking coro type shit.
Ooh,
See?
networking
That sounds
coro. I
great.
like
You
that.
feel
sounds
me?
great.
And
When
I
is
think-
it?
we haven't picked the date yet.
Just pick the day.
You know what I'm saying?
We're cooking it.
So we're trying to do a collaboration with all the guests, bring the talent, and have like a live podcast too.
Okay.
You know, but more of a networking, socializing event.
That sounds good
So
to me.
keep that in mind. We'll keep in touch.
Yeah.
Facts.
That's
I like
like
Yo
that.
that.
tengo
Damn.
hambre, loco.
Yo hace
real.
tiempo que tenía hambre.
One of my favorite restaurants is not too far from here.
Oh,
Which
really?
one?
It's called Beyond Sushi. It's a sushi spot.
Ooh,
But
I love
it's-
sushi.
But it's like it's all plant based, and it's made with black rice, not wild rice. So you'll be able to. Get
I have
into
to
it.
try this.
If
black
you want,
rice.
we'll go over there after. You know,
That'd be
we'll
lit.
drink it. You know,
I like
Una
Si tú
vainita
tienes
ahí.
tiempo, tú sabes.
No, no, bien. I have to try this black rice. Like because all I eat is brown rice.
Me too.
That's all I eat.
That's what I eat now.
Growing up, my mother, she did her best job to, educate and like, you had a whole wheat rice. Well, she didn't know much, but she would be
Yeah,
like,
she-
whole wheat rice, brown rice. She would say, don't drink whole milk. She would do like the 2% of the soy
2%.
milk. Ella trataba. ¿tú
And
entiendes?
we used to hate the healthy. I used to hate whole wheat bread, bro. Don't give me whole wheat bread. I used to, give me that white shit.
But, yo, that's like a drug. Like that white bread is the best. Like when you
Yeah,
think
man.
about it,
It's
flavor
very
wise,
good. Yup.
but it's not the healthiest.
It's
Nah.
But I think we were taught. Well, this is my theory. I think we were taught to like the things that we like.
I think so.
If we were fed a certain way from the very beginning,
Oh, yeah.
we would know right from the get that
From
now
school.
I'm fuck
Yo.
with that.
Yeah.
You know?
Your body will react
Yeah,
differently.
yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
It's all learned behavior. We're creatures of habit. Just as we created the bad habits, we could create the good
good
habits.
But I've been feeling good, no lie, because like lately I've been eating black totones.
Black totones?
Yeah.
What are black totones?
My mind is blown right now,
You
bro.
just burn it.
Yo, please enlighten us here. What are black
Chico, please.
totones?
Put me on.
What
This
is
needs
he
to be in the next
talking
book.
about?
Yo,
You never
black
heard of this,
totones.
Bobo?
Black tostones?
Yeah.
You heard of it?
I have
Oh,
never,
now
but
you
you
about
know,
to put
you're
us
the
on.
chef,
Yeah,
so.
of course you heard of it. Tú siempre quemas los totones.
Yo, my totones be crispy, bro.
Bro,
Let me tell you
disrespectful,
something.
B.
Let me tell you something. Mark my words. Next time you try my totones, don't ask me for more than one. Don't
Damn.
ask me to ever make it
But
again.
he won't eat it anyways because
Everybody
it's
love
not
my
black.
It gotta be
totones.
black
My mom be
totones,
like,
though.
yo, how you make it totones? I'm like, what you mean how I make them? Like,
Dude,
everybody makes them the
So I'm
same.
glad. Go ahead.
Let's get into this.
I heard, like, you see how the totones is flat? Like, she stomps on them. And shit.
Yeah, not fun. I think I be getting my aggression out on him. Like, I love being,
It's an intimate
it's gonna
moment.
sound wrong. I hope it don't sound wrong, but
It's
I
gonna
love
sound wrong.
aggression.
Masochista.
I love physical interaction. So
Damn,
even
I
with
feel that.
food, unfortunately, I heard you're supposed to make love to your food. So I'm trying to learn to
Tampoco
make
sé
It's a
cómo
love
sé.
to my food
Yeah.
instead of like aggression.
Yo, she's right though.
She be in the
She's
kitchen
right,
cracking eggs like,
When I used to have egg, I used to be like blacata on the side, like that
though.
aggression.
It's just like Salt Bay. You know Salt Bay? He'd be like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
oh man, black
I gotta
tostones.
make love.
well,
to
can we
it.
know what this
Yeah.
is now though?
Yeah, but don't.
You didn't hear what it
He
was. It
burns
was
the
burned.
Oh,
you just
that's
burn
what
it.
oh, okay. Black tostones.
So let me
Yeah,
tell you,
that's
my,
Do
my,
not make love. Don't.
I
Don't.
know.
Yo,
I know.
yo.
I deal with it all the time.
First
All the
of all,
time.
That's
Not-
funny.
don't put food in love making. It sound crazy. I got that scene from what was that American Pie when he's with the pie.
Oh,
No.
man.
We don't make
I
love with food,
cannot.
man.
I was talking about like not being too aggressive because with the totones I be smashing it mad hard.
I'm gonna get you one of them bobs.
No, but in serious note, you ever wonder why people think their mother or their grandma is the best cook?
Why?
why?
Because it's a transfer of love. They're making it with so much love that
See?
they're transferring that love to you. Love really goes into the food, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
See,
So, like,
with your dirty
But,
mouth.
well, Dominicans also force your ass to eat a lot of times. So you're
Whoa, man.
gonna love that
Flaquito.
shit.
They be like, tú no te vas a parar de la mesa hasta que te coma toda esa bichuela.
Coñazo.
Yo, you know what me and my sister used to do? We used to just throw it in a black bag, bro. A shopping
Had
bag.
a shopping bag on deck.
And
Yo, for real.
Nah, but Hispanics be recycling shopping
Yo,
bags.
especially
That's
like,
Everyone that comes to my house, they're like, yo, your parents taught you right. You stay recycling bags.
yo, and especially before we used to all sit together. Y después con el tiempo, ya, you get old. They be like, I'm gonna eat in my room and shit. Ahí es que nosotros era, oye, you want that? Nah, I'm good.
Put it all in
And,
there.
yo, we used
Your
to throw
mama
it back
That's how
to
you
the
put the
basement.
veggies in.
Mama swag
He
on
used to be the
punching
super
your
to the
throat.
other building, so they probably had to pick that shit up.
Oh, man, that's fucked up.
Damn.
Yo, yeah.
Yo,
But how you
there's some
feeling?
kid out there that probably was blamed for it, got hit by his mama for it. All this time it
They
was
used to call him
Chico.
robapollo.
Roba pollo, diablo, bro.
You hear
Dominicans
this?
with these
Yeah, you hear
nicknames,
this? It's
Do you hear
crazy.
this?
I hear
Yo,
it. I hear
that
it
shit
loud
got
and
me
clear.
loose, bro.
Muchacho.
Let's take another one, man.
Yeah.
Yo.
Bobo, how you feeling?
I'm feeling great.
chilling?
man.
Esto es un chilling
It's,
así.
it's hitting me a lot harder than it's hitting you guys. I'm
Oh
fasting
yeah,
right now. I haven't eaten
I
all
need
day.
Yo.
to fast.
Bobo, we need to tell you something real quick.
Yeah.
You know that, and I hope you don't take offense to this.
No, not at all, man.
You know, and
It's
I feel,
funny.
and
It's
I
fun.
feel. No, but I think it might get a little personal right now. Nah, I'm just kidding. All I want to say is, Aqui Chillin is a.
Vibe.
Vibe, baby.
You feel?
You feeling it?
You feeling the vibe?
Es un vibe.
Absolutely.
Aqui Chillin es
we
un.
gotta
Es un
say in
vibe.
Es un
Spanish.
vibe.
Es un vibe.
Una vibra.
Una vibra.
Una vibra positiva.
It's a vibra.
Vibración.
Oye, busca la seguridad que lo saque.
That's good. I think we could do one more after this too.
Oh, shit.
Oh, this
Nah,
is,
I'm
we
trying
taking,
to drive,
yo,
yo.
we taking this down?
Yeah, we taking it down.
No.
Down. Hey, man.
Te gusta el carro.
What we
Yo,
toasting
we
to?
will toast
Cora,
to,
ese.
to the croquetas.
We're
To the
toasting-
croquetas.
My brother.
Cheers.
And to the black
Love, man,
plátano.
love.
And to the black
Black
plátano.
plátanos,
No,
man.
totones.
Tostones.
It hits every time.
Yo, every time.
Every time.
Yo.
I be thinking I'm ready.
I wish we could point the camera to your boy.
Yo, I feel clean, bro.
Ooh, that ginger.
Mm-hmm.
That ginger be fire. You know, I thought I was ready because I be having kale with ginger in the morning.
Oh, this is the next level.
Bro, you
It's
put this in
another
Whole
level.
Foods,
the
everyone
next
buying
level.
this.
Yo.
I need to put
They
extra
won't allow
ginger
it,
in my
though.
drink, huh?
They won't allow it.
Whew.
Because it's too,
They ain't ready.
It's too
I wasn't
natural.
ready.
Not ready, man.
It's too natural.
Too organic.
Because like you're obligated to put the ingredients list, and if the ingredients list is just too well, to be in home.
They've been like, ooh, none of this is gonna kill you. No.
Yeah, man.
Sorry.
That's how I feel. Ooh.
You at least gotta put something that's
Something
gonna
that's
kill
gonna
you.
kill you.
But we'll do it like the bootleggers used to do it,
Escondidito
Escondidito.
ahí.
A lo estilo moonshine.
Sí,
Moonshine.
exactamente.
You know why they call it moonshine, right?
Why they
Nah,
call it
I don't
moonshine?
know.
Oh, it was in the nighttime?
Yo, can I say it?
You know,
Yo.
I'm smart like that.
You are
sweetheart.
very
It's not
smart,
just
you know.
Use the
That's what
Okay,
Aqui
stop
Chillin
the
First
whole-
Lady. Aqui Chillin First Lady is very
you know
smart
what
and
I'm saying? You
intelligent.
gotta be.
It's
You
because
gotta
they used
be.
to do it under the moonlight.
I ain't had to wait for that, but Chico,
You know?
I
let
definitely
me
needed
tell
it.
you.
Moonshine.
I talk mad
It was illegal at the
shit.
time, but they had to do it in the woods and under, it was at night.
Prohibition,
so it
yeah,
was prohibition, so it was more.
That's whack.
Ahí va.
What you laughing
I
at?
don't know. She gonna say
No, I
some
can't
shit.
drink no more because I talk mad-ish. I was thinking, right?
At
I
least
was
she
like,
recognized.
I do. Because I'm like, I already gave it up. But Chico the whole time was still lost looking at you like, why, bro?
I'm
Why?
waiting
He
for-
waiting the whole time looking at him like, I just gave it up. Like,
Yo, ya
he's
no
still
más trago
lost.
pa' esta.
It's
He's
okay,
still
Chico.
lost.
It's okay. It's all right. Bobo, so let me ask you, like,
Yo, can this,
Don't
have this no more, man.
does this like sober you up so I can give her some?
Nah, it does
I'm
not do
joking.
that.
I'm joking.
What you know, agüita?
Una agüita.
let me
It's
ask you,
on
have you
Yeah.
ever tried cooking with cannabis?
Infused? I never tried it, but I'm going to
Your,
try
like your
it.
vegan
gonna try-
recipes?
Yeah.
That would be
shit,
dope, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna try. My cousin who does a lot of smoking.
Nice.
He told me about this from a long time. He's like, yo, but you could do all the
Infuse
stuff that
it.
you do here. You could just do with cannabis. Imagine that. But I don't have enough storage. But I'm working on finding a spot, an official spot for me to cater in order for me a cafe of sorts.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
That'll
people
be
come
awesome.
in on a daily.
I'll be in there.
You know what I'm saying?
Muchacho.
But until I have that storage space, I won't turn into a business, but I could start experimenting with that, you know.
Yeah, that'd be cool, man.
Like instead of like the regular banana bread that I have in here or the banana walnut bread that I have, it'll be cannabis banana bread.
Spider Kush banana bread.
Spider
I'll probably have my
Is
cousin
there
run
such
that
thing
business,
as
man.
that?
He has a passion for it, so I'll let him do it.
Let
you know?
him be the
Yeah,
one sourcing it.
you gotta put that one in the Heights.
Yeah,
That
facts.
one's definitely in the Heights.
Facts, man,
Muchacho.
facts.
That
Now,
would
let
be
me
dope,
ask
though.
you,
Uh-oh.
Drum roll.
do you miss anything or your eating habits? Is there any dish that you missed before you made the change to full vegan?
Shockingly, no, not one.
Damn.
Yeah.
Interesting.
There's certain things that I smelled. I'm like, wow, that reminds me of my childhood.
Okay.
But like, I got over it. It's like getting over your ex type shit. Like,
Ooh.
it's like that. Yeah.
Deuces?
Yeah. It's like
But
that.
it's funny though
Damn.
because you're still like,
Some people just never get over that.
yeah,
That's true.
But you mentioned like the pollo guisado, right?
Yeah.
It's cool that you adapted it to your lifestyle right
Yeah.
now with the whole vegan.
I barely even cook anymore, to be honest, though.
So how you
For
make
real?
the vegan dishes? What
Wow.
I mean, when I'm making a book, I do it.
Oh,
But
okay.
other
You've been
than that,
eating
like,
out?
I just eat like raw foods, like salads and stuff. My diet
real
has
plant-based.
yeah, it's simplified so much. This was just a stepping stone. I
Okay.
can't expect my people, you know how Dominican people,
Yeah.
they're not just gonna go cold turkey to the healthiest thing. So
Yeah.
I give them the best alternative. I can't expect my peers to give up alcohol, so I'll give them an alternative. You know what I'm saying? I can't expect them to just give up certain foods, so I just give them an alternative. You know? Sorry about
Yeah.
that.
It's all right.
It's
It's all
good.
right.
Yeah.
You're a little. We understand you're a little drunk, but it's
Yeah.
all right.
Well, I'm like happy now. Like, I'm
Yeah,
that's
that's good.
A lot of energy. Man.
That's what I'm
It's a
talking
different.
about.
It's a different high.
Yeah.
It's not
Oh,
your
absolutely.
typical. Yeah, let me get a shot of Brugal type shit. Like, you
No,
know.
no, no.
Nah, that's
It's like you just
fire.
got energy. It was like me
It's
just
fire.
making jokes.
My whole
before.
chest is open, bro. It's crazy.
Feels good,
Seriously.
man.
Yeah.
Tell me,
For real,
if
for
you
real,
ever-
like
if,
OD.
If you know anybody that ever has sinus issues,
Me.
this is gonna open them up.
Oh yeah.
so much.
Don't you be?
I used to be. I'm one of those that during like springtime, I always have the nasal
What the
sprays.
thing? Yeah.
He sings too, so
Yeah.
that.
Yo,
my father used to do it. Now he just takes a shot of this.
look at that. Yo,
Yeah. Everybody breathe in. Breathe out.
Now I feel like meditating.
Oh yeah.
breathing exercises,
Yo,
man. They're good.
before yoga class, this is what I do, man. I'm telling you.
Oh
do
yeah,
yoga?
you do yoga. I love
I
it.
started doing yoga, too.
I need
not
to start
I'm
doing
going
yoga.
Yo,
to start
bro.
now.
That's
And you know
what's up.
what I found out that's very helpful? Breathing exercises.
Oh yeah.
You know what I noticed
Preach.
during your day, work, stress, everything? We don't really take full breaths.
Nah.
All our breaths are cut short.
Yup.
I started like my friend Arnold. Shout out to my boy Arnold. He put me on to this breathing exercises and all these things, and we started doing it. He used to come over at the apartment. We used to, him and his brother, we used to hang out. We used to do yoga. Like we literally, he was like, "We should do this, we should do that," and he told me how the whole breathing exercise routine, bro. Like when you do that, your mind
Yes.
clears up.
changes your life.
Your body, you feel lighter, like bro. Because
I
then
need to try that.
bro, you have to just literally take 10 minutes. Just stop, do the
Yeah.
breathing, 60 seconds, stop, and do it again.
And it's
Bro.
funny because on a physical aspect, it's called breathing exercise, and people don't know that breathing exercises actually build muscle within itself.
Yeah.
A lot of people do these things called coherent heart breathing, where they go
Yeah.
and then they slow it down. I haven't got into the science yet,
Yeah.
but these people are jacked.
We used to do this. It used to be like that. You will breathe.
Yeah. It's
And
very
release through
similar
the
to
other
that.
one. Like
man.
you do all that stuff, man. Like, but you feel the
It's just
difference
taking
right
that
away.
30 minutes time off of your day to do that exercise, and you'll just start feeling better.
different, man. It works.
Forget about intake of food. That alone.
Alone.
All right, let's do real quick. Let's do a breathing exercise real quick right now.
All
Let's
right.
we're gonna breathe in real. We're gonna take a deep breath,
You're doing it too.
and then we're gonna
Everything we do, he's doing.
Yeah, we're gonna hold it for 10 seconds. For 10 seconds, and we're gonna let go.
Wait, we holding it in for 10
Yeah,
seconds?
10 seconds, and then we're gonna let go. All right.
Right.
All right.
1, 2, 3.
That was
Now we take a shot.
Oh man.
Thanks,
That being said,
Carlos,
I'm not gonna front, a lot of this
thanks,
stuff has
Indio.
been spilling.
Listen, pero no, no te preocupes.
Pon-
Oye,
Carlos,
Yeah.
Carlos number 2 brought the vibes.
yo, let me tell you, lo importante es que la gente tiene que entender que es importante aprender de nuestro estado natural, nuestro cuerpo.
No, increíble.
But that's where we come from.
You know,
Yeah.
eso es lo más, es el fundamento de todo, right? The principle of everything is how we're connected to nature.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And
That's true.
I think
But a
the
lot
day
of
we
people don't
understand,
think we are, though.
they don't.
They think human society is one thing and then nature is another thing.
We
Once we
forget.
start figuring out, again, that whenever we go against nature, all hell breaks loose.
Yes.
That's when we start coming together again.
Especially us that live in big cities.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
people that live in big cities forget about
Yeah.
nature, and we just
Like
focus.
we think that New York City's been here since the beginning
Yeah.
of time. No,
No.
bro. Man created this shit.
yeah.
But I think one of the main problems is that since,
I'm cheating, man.
like, hay mucha gente que come McDonald's todos los días, ¿verdad? Pero ellos se sienten bien.
Dike.
Hasta ahora. Después, when it reaches that level, it'll be too late.
Oh, yeah. When they're young,
You know what I think is the
they
No,
do,
problem?
it
though?
catches up to them, though.
It caught up to me
eventually.
because I never had blood pressure. Y, like last year, I used to eat almost McDonald's y toda la vaina, chino, crazy. And I used to have, my blood pressure was go off the roof, dizziness and crazy.
But, bro, what about, this speaks a lot to men. What about impotency? People not even, people our age are not being able to get hard.
Stop playing.
That used to be a 50-year-old problem.
is true.
Or a
Nowadays.
That's
55-year-old
crazy.
problem.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, 21-year-old, bro, I had that problem. There's not written in the book, but I had that problem. That was the icing on the cake. I never said this publicly.
Yeah.
But that was
Okay.
like, yo, what the fuck?
Thank you for
Yeah.
opening up, by the
That's
way.
right.
I have
Yeah.
no idea.
I never said it. Only my closest friends and my family know this issue. But
Yeah.
that was an issue at 21 years old.
21.
Yeah, my brother Yada didn't. I didn't even tell him about it because I was embarrassed. He was the one that was healing me. He didn't. I didn't have to tell him. Though.
Yeah.
But that happened to me, bro.
Yeah, that's good. Yo,
But that's-
I
it's
commend you for that because you're living your truth and you're sharing what
Yeah.
you know what it is. So that shows the kind of
And you
person
back.
you are.
I'm back,
You
baby.
back.
Because of this.
Ladies, beware.
Bueno,
Beware.
ya no se necesita Viagra. ¿no?
problema.
Nah, this is Viagra.
Yo,
That right here.
Yo, you know
we
what?
doing another one?
Yeah.
Yo,
but
he
before we
is
do
a
this,
mess.
All right, let's do that.
we're gonna cheers to this. This is
Okay.
a quote that I heard. Someone said this. What you eat today is how you feel tomorrow.
Ooh,
Ooh, that's
damn, that was
That's
good.
deep.
Hey, cheers to you, my brother.
But this is a vibe, right? Aqui Chillin is a vibe.
Man, what?
Even though that one was
You
little,
bringing it right
I
now,
still
bro.
I
it.
felt the shit out of that.
It was little. You want some more?
Yo, can you teach the guys how to treat me?
Come on,
Because
espérate.
I don't know.
Ya, ahí va.
I don't know if you've seen the podcast, but they always leave me for less. Aprenden. You see how you saw that gentleman move? Like, hold on,
That's
that
crazy.
was
Oh yeah,
kinda-
that's how we check
They
our
know.
guests. When the male guests come in, if they don't treat you nice, then we don't invite them again.
That's
Oh,
right.
gotcha.
Coming back.
All
That's
right,
what
those
it
are my
is.
brothers.
They
Those are my
testing,
brothers.
they testing the
Yeah,
waters. They
yeah,
testing
what
the
he
waters.
said.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Tú me entiendes, loco.
Yo, you guys are clowns.
Yo, you know what I was laughing last week? He called his aunt local, and she checked him. She was like,
yeah, like don't be doing
No,
that.
I ain't say that. I said
Always
loco to
respect,
Lowe's. I was like, yo,
always.
loco. Like,
Yeah.
you know
To,
what I'm
my,
saying?
all, to all
Wait,
the
what was the
females
context,
out
though?
there, I love all my women
I was
out
talking about?
here.
Concept?
Power to the women. I'm gonna teach these men how to treat us.
What I was talking
I
about.
forgot. But either way, that was another episode.
Because if you're saying
He
it,
said don't matter.
Oh, the
relajando.
job about the jobs. Like that we work
Yes.
like a whole 360
Oh, yeah.
and then they give us 2 weeks of vacation. type
Oh,
shit.
okay.
Okay, por ahí.
So we can't chill forever, but I think that's a good point though, because we live in a big city, surrounded by fast food. But let's start
Down
talking.
south is worse, though.
I can imagine, but let's talk. Let's talk to our generation real quick. What advice you give people, right, that want to make these changes? Like, where should people start?
I think it starts within themselves. I think we make a mistake by trying to heal everybody else who it's not necessarily there in their journey. Everybody's on their own individual journey. So just take it amongst yourself. And if you made it past a certain point, I think we have an obligation. I have an obligation to dress a certain way. I have an obligation to address like the kids that are dressing in high school, in middle school. I think they pay attention to me. Whenever they go up to me and they ask me what I do, I take pride in telling them, yo, I teach culinary holistic arts. And I go across the country, but they're mind blown because I have some fresh ass kicks. I got a fresh ass fitted. I'm always with some fly ass girls. And that's the way I like to carry myself because they have a certain depiction of success. Nice cars, nice girls, beautiful clothes. And they want to have that. Whether that's wrong or not,
Yeah.
we still have, I think their mind is blown when they find out what I do.
When they find out he's the
for real.
vegan Hugh
Because
Hefner.
all of a sudden, yeah.
The vegan Hugh Hefner.
All of a sudden,
There's
their
una cosa
options
seria.
just in our community, their option has just grown.
Yeah.
Like, yo, what I could do something else other than drug dealing is not really that common in New York anymore, but there's still a lot of top drug
There's still
dealers.
people that look up to that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's still people that, but scamming, oh shit, I don't have to scam to get a lot of money. Oh shit, I don't have to become a ball player, in our case, a soccer player or
Yeah.
a baseball player.
Yeah.
Oh shit, I don't have to become a rapper or artist.
Yep.
I could do something else now and make it look fly.
Bobo,
You know?
you hit the key principle of Aqui Chillin.
How old are you, bro?
24.
You hear that?
That's
He hit,
crazy.
he hit the key principle of Aqui Chillin. What
So
we,
knowledgeable with
yeah,
him.
what we try to do here is showcase people like you, your talents for like the younger generation to see that you can still be cool and still do
Facts.
things that impact society type
Be
shit. You know,
you, yes.
be you. You don't have to be in the streets.
And
do
I've seen the
drug
guests that you
dealing.
have here, man.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
try to
that's
bring people that are doing
dope
things
ass
in the
guest.
community, you know, and music, business wise. And you, bro, you top notch. You up there with the best, man.
Even
Thanks,
though you
I'm
didn't
fine.
bring me no food.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I'm
Dang.
sorry. You go, yo, can we go
The
get
drink
some
was
food
fire.
after?
Yeah.
You
The
know,
drink
like,
was
it's
fire.
right down the block.
We
My
might
favorite
have
restaurant
to. We
right
might
down the
have
block.
to.
If y'all got time, you know.
Yeah.
Beyond Sushi. Shout out to them, man.
Oh, man.
Y'all can
Word.
endorse me later.
Man, this is so
Shout out to your
dope.
other guest too, Radel Ortiz. He has the funniest vegan skit.
Yo.
Radel Ortiz?
Yo, what? Like,
That's my dude right there,
dude,
man.
that dude had the funniest freaking skit of the I'm not a vegan shit.
Yeah.
Dude, that shit had me on another level, bro.
You hear that, Radel?
Dying, bro. I was dying. I was crying almost. Yo. It
That's
was so
what's up.
on the money.
Yeah.
So on the money.
That's what's up, man. How you feeling?
How y'all feeling?
I'm feeling good.
Great.
Yo estoy con una nota, bro.
For real,
Bro, I feel
right?
brand new. I
This
feel
thing
brand
opens
new.
up
My
the intestines
chest.
too,
I feel
man.
like
Every day.
working out. Like, I just want to go and lift some weights.
Yeah, I
Do
feel
some
like
legs.
We can do anything.
Oh.
I feel like going home and just eating some.
What was that? Oh, what was wrong
I don't know.
with y'all?
I don't know.
I don't know.
like-
You tell us, Bobo.
Yo,
You tell
I
us
was
what that
like,
meant.
wait a
I'm
minute.
saying that this is
Bobo got his girl. Stop trying to start problems.
You know what I think it is?
Yo, Bobo got like 5 girls waiting for him outside of here.
He spiked this.
He's like,
With
He
what?
spiked it
Spiked
with more
it?
herbs.
Uh-oh.
with ginger.
Oh,
No, esa
man.
vaina está dura. I'm dead ass going to purchase one of those.
You
Yo,
should
that's
because you
fire.
have
Just go to that. Hit
You
me up.
have
I'll give you some
the-
directions.
And also, I had a liquor problem, so.
I used to
That's
have
good,
an
too.
alcohol problem as
Yeah.
well. A big alcohol problem. I wasn't an alcoholic.
I
Well,
was.
First of
Well,
all,
define an alcoholic.
Que yo bebía
If
todos
you
los días.
gotta think
loco.
about
I didn't
it.
do it every day. I didn't do it every day.
Yo, si yo no tenía una nota todos los días, I was not good.
Damn.
It was crazy.
so you know what? I want to take
So I
this
wasn't that
moment.
bad.
I think we should take another shot.
I
Let's
changed
Let's
that.
finish this
Right?
off, and I know what we're gonna toast to right now.
What we gonna
I think it's
toast?
gonna be
Let-
it's gonna be very skimp.
It's
I'm gonna try
fine.
to
It's
at the ching.
Yo,
I'm gonna
this,
try to.
this episode's fire.
You, right now, I'll consider you the 5-borough healer, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I like that.
So
Oh,
I need you to
Yo.
make magic. You know how Jesus made fish out of like mad fishes out of 4 fishes?
done with
I need you to
him.
make
He's
mad
talking
liquor
about
right. I'm just saying, he's
Yo.
making it happen though.
Yo, Carlos is a clown. Yo,
Yo, está lit, bro.
Carlos is a clown.
Yo, wait,
Carlos,
wait.
what is it that you
Está
got
acabando,
to
loco.
do?
I wanted to multiply the juice. First of all, is that recorded?
Multiply the juice.
That's what I
Okay.
just asked.
You did?
Yeah.
Yo, you imagine this whole time
Nah,
like we
but-
haven't been recording.
Yo, tú
imagine?
tienes que ser Dr. Bobo.
Dr.
Bobo.
Diablo. Yo, I think we just created something new.
Yo,
Bobo.
for
Yeah,
real.
my brother.
I think we just created.
You're
yo,
young.
Yo, I can't believe you tapped out.
Hey,
He
isn't
can't
there a
hang.
song
I thought
called
I was the
Tap Out?
weakling.
Nah, he's a father now. You know how dads
I
get.
feel you, man. Exactly, he's a father. I
he's-
thought
he's stressed out,
That's
right?
you know,
He gets stressed,
wind
yeah.
down.
Yo,
a little bit more.
I want to make this
Yo,
final toast.
congratulations, man.
I want to make this final toast to Bobo for joining us and
Yes.
sharing
Word.
all this knowledge.
Yes.
And also to Kakata
Kakata.
for controlling that drinking problem you
Yo,
have.
that's a fact.
We're
man.
proud of you.
We're proud of
Word
you, my
up.
brother.
We
Very
are.
proud.
And I want to make a toast to Arielis for today opening up the way she did.
This is a special
You know,
episode.
Yo, this is
This
real.
is very special, you
We're
know,
doing some
guys.
healing here.
Yeah, definitely. This is the vibe. We're definitely healing. My arm is tired.
Yeah, mine too.
Cheers.
Yeah, we gotta work out.
Cheers, man. Bottoms up. Even that
I
little
can
bit. Even that little bit. Does the job.
It's
This
potent,
was
man.
dope.
Yo, una vaina así te dura un tro.
Oh yeah.
¿Te dura un qué? Un tro.
Un tro.
Eso es
What that
como...
mean? A
Voltron.
truck?
Un tro de tiempo.
Exacto.
He's in a sense, es un tro de tiempo.
Bobo,
de tiempo.
I need you to close us out with a final message to the listeners.
Final message to the listeners. I think everyone needs to realize that if you do have a problem, there's something that you could do to help yourselves. And there's no reason that you have to rely on everybody. Use the internet to your full advantage. And there's so many resources that we can use today to better ourselves and better ourselves as a community. But if you want to help your community, help yourself first. In the airplane, you put your own mask on before you put somebody else's mask on. There's a reason why they say that. You have to help yourself first. Don't go preaching if you're not helping yourself.
Right.
Damn.
Peace.
Wow.
Aquí Chillin, episode número
22. Bobo Cuts.
22.
Bobo
Bobo
_.
2 plus 2 equals 4.
Thank you
There you
so
go.
much.
That's my favorite number.
There you go. This episode is yours, my brother.
Oh,
That's
yours.
it.